Hey everyone! Today I am working on week 29 of the Altered Index 2025 challenge put on by Nonstop Paper Crafts. And the prompt for week 29 is cityscapes. So I have got this die from Coco Rosa that is a little city skyline. It came with fireworks. I'm not going to use the fireworks. I'm just going to use this die, which I will cut out in black because this is going to be a nighttime scene, and I'm going to put some yellow paper behind for the lights in the windows. So I'm going to set those aside for the moment because what I want to do is ink blend a night sky, and I want to have a moon. So I've got some Gina K Masking Magic. I don't have a little circle this size, so I'm just going to trace a little circle kind of in there. That's going to be my moon. And I will just cut that out roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, that was a really harsh edge. Okay, that should be all right. I have seen some of you on YouTube do, well, YouTube or cards on Instagram or wherever. Okay, I can't even get this mask off. Anyways, I have seen you guys, some of you do like a night sky with the moon, with kind of like a glow around the moon. I have never tried that yet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it very well, but I'm going to try. Okay, I should have done this over the part that... I'll be back after I get this off. Okay, that took me forever to get that apart, but my little pokey tool finally helped. Usually this little guy helps me with almost everything. Okay, now I have some night sky colors here. I need to grab some yellow. Okay, I have not practiced with this, so I brought a bright yellow, but I also brought this one. I don't know. You know what I should have, before doing this video, I should have tried some different colors to see what actually works well. But I did not. Okay, that one's gonna work. I think that squeezed lemonade would be way too bright. So you just want some glow around the moon. That's probably enough. And then I have these ones. I wonder, just a second. I'm gonna come in with a tumbled glass next, which is really light, and see what that does. It's gonna make it green, isn't it? Okay, actually that's not bad. I just thought going from the pale yellow into a darker blue would be a little too intense. So that seems okay so far. Now, do I want to go right into faded jeans? You know what, let's try a little bit of Salty Ocean. I feel like this is going to be maybe too bright. But I thought that on the last night sky card that I did. I thought it was going to be too bright, and it actually worked. Oh boy. Okay, hold up. I didn't want to get it that. That's really juicy. I think that's about all I'm going to do with that one. And I do have to bring in my tumbled glass again, which is stuck. Just kind of even that out a bit. You know what? Leave that one there. Let's get rid of that one. That is too intense. And let's go right into the faded jeans. I'm not going to keep that ring completely around there. I just needed it for the moment. Okay, that's a little much there. Okay, not happy with that. I feel like I'm just making a mess now. Again, sorry for the shaky camera while I'm ink blending. Just soften this part up a bit. If anybody is watching this and you have ink blended a night sky with the moon, feel free to give me some tips, because I like to learn, and I've never done this before. And while it's probably going to turn out alright, it's not quite as beautiful as some of the ones I've seen others do. And I'm sure some of that comes with time and practice, but if you got any tips, feel free to drop them in the comments. I would love to learn. Clean up a bit of the ink on my fingers here, and a bit of the ink on here, and then I'm going to come in with the black soot. You know, let's just do a tiny bit more of that there. And then let's probably, whoops, put this one away for the moment. And grab that black soot. Things are not sticking on as well as they did when they were new. Okay, I'm going to start on the bottom in case it gets too dark, because this part's going to be kind of covered up by the city anyways. But it actually wasn't too bad. A little bit of that kind of over to darken it up a little. Okay. I think I will let that dry for the moment, and I am going to go ahead and die cut the city and cut little pieces to tape on the back for the lights. Okay, I have got my cityscape die cut, and I have taped on paper on the back so that there are yellow lights shining through the windows, and hopefully this is dry enough. I'm going to, when I stick that on, I have to trim the edges off, but that is my thought. That, let's see, I'll probably have to do something in there because that might be a little too intense. What do you guys do when you take the mask off? Do you just leave it like that, or do you soften it up a bit? I almost feel like taking a finger dauber with some antique linen and maybe just softening the edges. I don't know. I'll probably do that, but please give me tips on that. So bring out my little finger daubers. They're all in a mess here. There's my antique linen one. I wonder if there's any on there. I don't know, guys. I'm probably just going to leave it like that. Like I said, it's my first time masking off a moon, so I think for my first time it's alright, and I will learn more along the way. I brought in my little canister that has a whole bunch of die-cut sentiments. And I have one that says "Love you to the moon and back," which I might do that, but I also feel like this "Hope is never lost," because, you know, when you're going through a dark time in your life, sometimes it feels hopeless, but really hope is never lost. So I think I'm going to go with that one because it just kind of fits the vibe of this card, I think. So do I want to add some stars on here? I have a star stencil and I have some glitter paste. That might be nice. Maybe bring that out. I have this Minte stars stencil and I have this clear glitter paste. I do have a gold one as well, but I think that would be too intense. So I don't even want a lot of stars. I just, do I even want that? Or do I just want to dab a few spots on without having the actual star? I might want to just do that, you know. That's getting pretty old. What do I want to dab it on with? I feel like maybe the end of a paintbrush. I wonder about just putting, you know, a few spots like this. Kind of look like glowing stars. A lot there. You know what? Being that I'm not using the stencil and I just did it this way, I probably should have glued this on first, because now paste is going to be wet. That's probably good enough. I've never used that with the end of a paintbrush before. So I think I will take out my glue and glue this guy on. Oh, that came out really fast. Just a second. And I want it to be, oh gosh, okay, down at the bottom. That works. Okay. Oops. Might have to fix something in a second. See, this little part is not sticking, so let me get my glue back out. Add some glue there. All right, that works. Now for the sentiment, I do want to trim it down. And this may sound crazy, but even though it is tiny and could probably be done with scissors, I'm not good at cutting things straight with scissors. So, I should just do part of that. It is not straight on this paper, so I gotta try to get it straighter. Okay. Oops. And hopefully that worked. Okay, I think it's not perfect, but you know what? It's gonna be good enough. Probably just go something like that, but I think I might want to come in with this. So let's just get that finger dauber out again. Whoops. Let me see what that looks like. somewhere on there. Yeah, I think I will like that. I should probably take it off right now though while that paste is still drying. So I will clean up and be back. All right, I think I am going to stick this onto the card base. And then to stick my sentiment on. Ooh, a little too much glue. Let me try to dab some of that off. Thankfully, this glue does dry clear. All right, this is my card for week 29 of the Altered Index 2025 challenge put on by Nonstop Paper Crafts. Saw a little bit of dust on there. So the prompt for week 29 was cityscapes, so there is my cityscape card. And I'm very pleased that it is my first time trying to do a moon in the night sky. And while it's not perfect, I think it turned out pretty good for my first time. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful day.